Trump has cut my food stamps from $2,800 down to $350.
Us taxpayers are tired of taking care of your ass.
My food stamps just got cut from a little over $3,000 a month to $800 a month, and I'm pregnant with my 9th child.
5 days since I have been able to eat anything.
Some of y'all just love to sit around and collect free money while others have to go out there and fight for every penny that they earn.
You mean that I'm not gonna get my fucking SNAP benefits? What the fuck do you
Here we
mean?
go again.
Because what the fuck? Say that there are people like me who cannot work? Do you
I'm about to get
there are
mad.
people like me who have kids who cannot eat?
My kids have not eaten in 5 days. It is the taxpayer's responsibility to take care of my kids.
Talk about the fact you can't just pull yourself up by your bootstraps.
Food aid in the United States is about to be slashed at a time when experts say it's needed more than ever.
Y'all are about to find out that food stamps don't buy candy anymore. Not soda, not ice cream, not a little sweet treat to get you through the hard week.
No more food stamps, no more Medicaid for millions of Americans. We warned you guys.
Something big just happened in America. Millions of people woke up to find their food stamps cut, and now they can't afford groceries. The shocking part? Many of them voted for the same man who made those cuts. They believed in Make America Great Again, but now they are online saying we can't feed our families. This isn't a story about politics, it's about people, real Americans, struggling to survive while their leaders turn away. Let's talk about what's really happening and why the country is furious right now.
Trump has cut my food stamps from $2,800 down to $350. Now, what am I supposed to do? So I literally just got this piece of mail today saying that due to new policy changes from the Trump administration, all this shit, whatever, that all these cuts and whatever he's doing over there, now they're telling me I have to go work. Now I have to go do all this. Well, I literally got 5 kids. Okay, I'm trying to sit here and spend time with them. I'm not trying to go work, 50, 60 hours a week so I can pay bills. I just really don't understand. I voted for him this last election because I thought what he had good was going on, but now all of a sudden, all this policy stuff's coming out, and now he's making all these cuts, and now he doesn't want to help the less fortunate people no more. I'm done with that guy. I'm not. If he gets voted in again, I'm leaving this country. Because I'm not dealing with this no more. This is all.
All right, I'm going to choose to believe that this is satire, but there's people out there that think like this. That the government food coupons aren't stretching far enough anymore, that the taxpayer-funded buffet isn't offering second helpings of the Doritos, Hot Pockets, and Mountain Dew this month. Listen, this. Food stamps were never meant to be a lifestyle. They're designed to help people get through, not settle in. And if your biggest complaint is that Uncle Sam isn't sending you enough money, then you need to get your pride, priorities, and productivity straight and get a freaking job. Really? These people are out there. Nobody's that dumb, though, right? Nobody's really that dumb. Sheesh.
Trump has cut my food stamps from $2,800 down to $350.
Well, get a job, man. I said it. Go get a job. Us taxpayers are tired of taking care of your ass. Now, I'm glad that there's public assistance that's available for those that need it. But if you're an able-bodied adult, go get a damn job. Shit. It's not that hard. Hell, I'm just looking at your skin color and know that you have got a one-up on most of America. And you're telling me that you're going to sit there and draw food stamps at $300 a month? Shit. And now you're going to tell me that, Trump did this? He's got to work too, man. Go get a damn job.
Now, what am I supposed to do?
Go get a job, you bum. Some of y'all just love to sit around and collect free money while others have to go out there and fight for every penny that they earn. And before y'all try to jump and defend this loser, there's nothing wrong with him. He's capable of going out and getting a job. And to make things worse, this man has 5 kids and 1 on the way. So you're broke, you don't have a way of making any money, but yet you keep popping out kids. 6 kids? There are 2-parent households that are struggling to get by with 1 kid in this economy. But you have 6 and no job and sitting around and expecting taxpayers to cover your life. Clearly you are a poor decision maker because you have 6 kids and you don't know how to feed them. You need to do better.
We're getting $2,800 a month in food stamps, and now it's down to $350. $2,800 is more than most Americans make in an entire paycheck. You were spending that on groceries?
Now I have to go do all this. Well, I literally got 5 kids. Okay, I'm trying to sit here and spend time with them. I'm not trying to go work, 50, 60 hours a week so I can pay bills.
Meanwhile, the rest of us are out here working 40, 50, 60 hours a week just to put food on our own tables, not yours. And now you're mad that the government said, hey, maybe you should contribute a little too. I get it, you have 5 kids, you want to stay at home and spend time with them, and most parents would love to do that too. But they're too busy working for their own families. And apparently yours too. Look, we're all for helping the less fortunate. But you never once said in that video that you can't work. Just that you don't want to. And that's a big difference. Also, I gotta ask, is this dude being for real? Because this has to be a troll account or something. There's just no way that he's serious. But just in case someone out there actually thinks like this video is for you.
This is all shit.
So let me get this straight. He has 5 kids. He's expecting everybody else and their mother to take care of his kids that he couldn't afford to have in the first place. Now he wants to spend time with his kids. Originally, this is the reason why he wanted to vote for Trump, because apparently he misconstrued the word, we are going to help American citizen. It doesn't mean that he is going to help you lazy ass mother to sit on your ass permanently. This is the reason why we voted for President Trump, to get all you lazy ass motherfuckers off your ass and stop living off of the system. The system is meant to be temporary.
My kids have not eaten in 5 days. It is the taxpayer's responsibility to take care of my kids.
Trump done cut them food stamps off. If you're poor, don't have kids, okay? If you're struggling, don't have kids. Don't bring more in. If you already have them, that's another situation. If you don't have them, don't bring any in. And if you have 2, don't go having another one. If you have 1, don't go having 2 more.
So they say $2 million is getting cut off this month for the scamps. I'm about to go find out if I'm in that number, in that ratio.
It's been day 5 and I have not received no food stamps. My disability checks is on hold. My cash benefits is not coming no more. They're still pending. It is the taxpayer's job to pay for my kids to eat and for my kids to be taken care of. I have over 2,000 followers on TikTok and I can't get not one person to send me 50 cents. If you're watching a video and you can't send me nothing, I'm blocking you.
You know, people are out here scrambling, asking, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? Take your butt to work. Let's get into this video.
I'm sick of the food stamp office, okay? Okay, hang on. Before I get myself worked up, I just came here to talk about how I went from literally $1,700 in food stamps for a family of 3. Okay, I don't work. I stay home every day. I'm not able to work, so I should be getting the maximum amount. Especially because he needs cereal, chips, pop. He needs all that. And I need my energy drinks. So I'm not going to have this taking me down from that much. And they took me all the way down to $120, which they didn't even tell me why. I just got this notice in here. It says they were cutting me back on food stamps. So now I'm really going to have to cut back on everything. He's not going to be able to have his pop no more. He's not going to be able to have his cereal every day for breakfast and his chips that he eats all day long. Wow. Great. Thanks. So tell me why I get this letter in the mail today telling me that I have to freaking show up for 15 hours a week, okay? 15 hours I'm going to have to take out of my time to go and do what? Some hours? I have to put in some effort so I can get food stamps? Are you kidding me? Like I don't already have enough responsibility. I have things that I do every single day, like my rituals, my daily self-care. Okay, that's taken away from myself. How is that right? Why should I have to contribute so that I can receive my $2,700 in food stamps each month? Why should I have to do these things so that I can continue living rent-free? Does that make any sense to you? Is there some way that I can get out of doing this shit? Because it is uncalled for. Absolutely.
Entitlement that these people who are living off of public benefits and the audacity they have to sit there and think that we owe them something. Not only that, they think that nobody can tell them what to do with their food stamp. Just listen to one lady.
I buy food with my food stamps. I like to buy Pepsi because that's what I drink. Pepsi. I buy 2-liter Pepsis every time I go to the market. And I like snacks. I like to snack. The kids like to snack. So who is you to tell us that we can't buy Pepsis and sodas with our stamps? We should be able to get what the hell we want to get with our food stamps. Now you want to cut everything and talk about we can just buy food. So we supposed to spend money to buy the sodas and the snacks just to have sodas and Kool-Aid and snacks and juices and stuff in the house for the adults and the children. When will it take effect? Because I better not get messed up for June. I need everything. I want to buy everything with my food stamps.
Food stamp is meant to be a lifeline, not a lifestyle. Now we got women like her with rotten teeth, with zero shame, demanding Pepsi and Kool-Aid on our taxpayer dime. Unbelievable. And let me just tell you, it infuriates me to hell that they get away with shit like this.
Food aid in the United States is about to be slashed at a time when experts say it's needed more than ever. The Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP, is facing the largest funding cut in the program's history. Here are 4 things to know about changes coming to the program and what it can mean for those reliant on the benefits. 1. President Donald Trump's big, beautiful policy and spending legislation will cut $186 billion in federal funding from the program over the next decade, according to projections from the Congressional Budget Office.
We're definitely witnessing a major shift in SNAP, unlike anything we've seen since the program was created.
Elaine Waxman is a senior fellow at the Urban Institute, focusing on food insecurity and federal nutrition programs.
It will change the structure in significant ways for the first time.
And to fill the gap for the roughly 22 million families on SNAP, states will have to help pay for the benefits their residents receive. Depending on the scenario, that could be as much as 15% of the benefits costs. Waxman worries the worst case, but possible scenario is states will have to pull out of SNAP because they can't make up the funding gap.
The federal government has clearly stated it will not pay for a state shortfall if they're not able to make that match. Then it's possible that states would have to withdraw from the program altogether.
2. SNAP already had some work requirements, but the Big Beautiful Bill expands them to include people aged 55 to 64, parents of minors 14 and older, and veterans. Now, SNAP recipients will be required to work 80 hours per month in order to get the benefits. The idea is increased work requirements lead to increased workforce participation, but
research tells us that, unfortunately, they don't really work. And that may sound counterintuitive to people, but what we know is that they don't increase work effort, they don't result in higher incomes, and what they do result in is a lot of people leaving the program and not being better off.
3. The Congressional Budget Office estimates the new work requirements will lead to an estimated 3 million fewer people participating in SNAP. And this is a huge gap that charitably operated food banks won't be able to cover. According to Feeding America, a national food bank network, for every meal given by a food bank, SNAP provides 9.
If you look at food pantry visits in Minnesota, since 2019, they have tripled.
Sophia Lenars-Coy is the executive director of the Food Group, a food equity nonprofit in Minnesota.
As grocery prices have gone up the charitable food system has expanded dramatically. And so the idea that then it can expand again to compensate for these federal cuts, it's just simply not realistic.
And with states now on the hook to find ways to pay for SNAP for their residents, Lenars Coy worries disparities across the country will worsen.
As it starts being customized state to state, I think what's very concerning is, someone in Minnesota may be able to have enough benefits to feed their family, and someone, next door in Iowa might not. And what does that mean? And does that mean people will need to make really difficult choices, even about where they live, in order to feed their families?
4. Another major change will be eligibility for aid. Undocumented migrants have never been eligible to access SNAP benefits, and that has not changed. However, the list of immigrants and others who can participate has been cut significantly. Refugees, asylum seekers, victims of human trafficking, and domestic violence survivors under the Violence Against Women Act can no longer access SNAP benefits. This, Lenars Coy says, will affect local communities on a personal and economic level.
Culturally connected meats, halal meats, culturally connected produce, that can be really expensive and not available in your average food shelf situation. And ethnic grocery stores in rural communities can see some of the highest SNAP redemption rates of a lot of grocery stores. So there's also going to be this economic impact. And in some rural groceries, there's just not margin to handle a lack of sales.
Not to mention the fear of going out to receive those benefits.
In the past, we've encouraged, apply for all the programs you're eligible for. Some of them don't even feel safe coming out of their house to go to a charitable food distribution anymore. So I think we're just seeing a real chilling effect of everyone feeling like it's not safe to ask for help. And what that ultimately means, right, is that there are going to be kids who go hungry.
I want to have a talk with all the low-income Trump voters that live in rural Title I school districts that have kids in those schools. Trump just signed a memo to take away your child's free school lunch and Title I funding, which is the federal money that they get to keep the lights on and make sure your child has the resources they need to graduate. I grew up in schools like yours. I worked in schools like yours. I know that in a lot of these campuses, over half of the kids at that school are on free school lunch programs. I know a lot of you guys that voted for Donald Trump can't even afford to buy your own children's school supplies. You think he's going to send that money to the states? That's not how this works. He's not going to halt federal aid like Title I funding and school lunch program money and send that money. He's not sending some Publishers Clearinghouse big giant foam check to your governor. How are you going to expect your child to get fed at school now? I know you're not sending them with food. I know, because they've asked me for food out of my own desk drawer. Come August, when your child's campus only has half of the school staff that was on it the last because they can't afford to pay, who are you going to be mad at? The teachers that quit because they couldn't afford to work at that school anymore? You should be especially ashamed of yourself if you have a child that is currently utilizing the services of special needs programs. You should be especially ashamed because he's coming after that next.
Here we go again. I'm about to get mad. Top creator without even going to go look it up yourself. Me, when I say a news, I tell y'all, go look it up yourself. You don't have to believe me. Just go look it up yourself. Your children will eat. You will get your benefits. You are on the internet spreading false information. All of you guys are doing all this for no reason at the moment. You are going to eat. You are going to get your benefits. Jesus Christ.
Oh my God. What me and my kids gonna do? I only got $60 in my food. They cut my food stamps to $60. What me and my kids gonna do? Like, that's crazy. I looked at my thing, it says $60. What is that? I got about 6 kids. What is that gonna do, $60? Like, you got to be kidding me right now. Like, I am so tight right now. I really is pissed off. Pissed off. Like, and my public housing, like, what I'm finna do? I done got an eviction letter. Like, what am I finna do? I was living 3 years rent-free. Like, you gotta be kidding me. Like, what am I supposed to do now?
5 days since I have been able to eat anything. Why, may you ask? Why haven't you eaten 5 days, Courtney? Well, because Donald Trump decided to change the rules when you collect welfare benefits, food stamps, cash assistance, Section 8, disability, whatever it is. So I have been cut off. I have never worked a day in my life. I have 6 kids, 6 mouths to feed, 4 baby daddies. Okay, I don't receive child support. I don't have any income. I've never had a job. I'm not ever going to have a job. I don't want a job. The whole point of having the kids was to get government benefits. I have been collecting almost $10,000 a month in government benefits for 13 years. And now they just strip it from me. They take it from me. How the hell am I supposed to feed my kids? How? How am I supposed to pay rent? This is bullshit. Not only that, I have over 335,000 followers, and not one person has offered to help me. What's the point of having all these followers if they don't care, right? It is your responsibility as a taxpayer to support me and my kids. So, support me.
Y'all are about to find out that food stamps don't buy candy anymore. Not soda, not ice cream, not a little sweet treat to get you through the hard week. None of that anymore. Y'all was so hyped talking about that big, beautiful bill and finally having some responsibility. Talking about they gonna crack down on waste. But now when you go to the grocery store to get that Snickers bar with that EBT card, denied. The 2-liter, denied. That pint of Ben & Jerry's after a hard day, gone. The joy, gone. But hey, at least billionaires are still getting tax breaks, right? It's interesting when they want to cut costs and get things in line, they always go to the poor people first. God forbid somebody poor wants a soda to go with their ramen. You wanted fiscal responsibility, but you ended up with a government that decided they don't even want you to have a piece of candy. And it's not going to stop there. It never does. Soon it'll be no meat. Then they're going to decide that poor people probably can't have seasoning either. So to all the MAGA people who cheered for this bill, when you're standing in line and that ice cream don't go through, just remember, it wasn't the woke mob that did that. It was your own people. You asked for this. Now, eat your sadness plain, room temp, no sugar.
A lot of y'all finna feel how we been feeling all these years because Trump new bill came into effect on the 1st and he cutting 2 million y'all off stamps. Now, mind y'all, when y'all started acting funny with us and didn't want to, sell your yamps, we let y'all live. We didn't say anything. When people started acting funny with me, I was like, okay, I chalked up to the chin. I just had to balance my money and redo my budget. I couldn't buy the things I wanted to buy. Now y'all finna feel how we feel. We don't want y'all get on here crying, asking for no CAs, because we been doing this for years. Y'all have fun at the grocery store, because we going to be looking at y'all when y'all be in the line and y'all be asking us, do you got, no, we don't got a thing. Rethink your choices. Learn your lesson. The next time you need me, I ain't going to be there. Okay?
They literally cut my food stamp card off. Zero balance. They took everything. So I told my husband, and he says to me, as I'm crying, and he says to me, well, maybe you'll lose some weight now. Good. Why did I vote for him? I didn't know this was gonna happen. I can't go get a job. Is there anybody out there that can help me, please?
Well, what do we have here? Not the brunette sister of the Princess Bride albino crying about food stamps. I'm even gonna skip past your husband's toxic energy. Talk about the fact you can't just pull yourself up by your bootstraps. I did manage to go through this creator's account, and boy, honey, you are on TikTok a lot. There are so many reposts. You know what you could do with all that time if you stop being on TikTok? You'd probably get a job. What's crazy about this algorithm is that sometimes you end up on the wrong side of TikTok, and you weren't on our side of TikTok where we were telling you Donald Trump does not care about poor people. Asking for help is wild. You have over 100,000 followers somehow on this account, so you're monetizing this content. You know what you're doing. This is giving, well, this is actually giving exactly the people that Donald Trump wants to cut off, the people who want handouts. Meanwhile, there's immigrants and people that are working hard to contribute to this country, but no, you just want to be able to stay at home. You know what? I send you my concepts of thoughts and prayers, and I guess also concepts of food stamps. And also, dump your...
My food stamps just got cut from a little over $3,000 a month to $800 a month, and I'm pregnant with my 9th child, and I genuinely don't know how I'm gonna pay the grocery bill. The money we saved by having the government pay for our groceries, we were using to pay for our mortgage. But now, if we're gonna have to use our mortgage money to eat, I don't know how we're gonna make it. It's not possible for me to go out and get a job right now because I'm pregnant with my 9th child and it's currently summer break. So if I were to get a job, I would have to send all 8 of my other kids to daycare, which I can't afford, and I don't have any like marketable skills to where I can make a job that would be paying more than the daycare cost. I have 6 different baby daddies and I've tried going to all of them to ask for more child support, and only one of them has offered to give me an extra $100 a month, which like I'm grateful for that, but it's not enough to take care of all of my kids. I'm planning on taking the baby daddy that I know makes the most money back to court to see if I can get a little bit more of his income, but I can't afford to take every baby daddy back to court to get more money. So I'm in such a bind right now.
No more food stamps, no more Medicaid for millions of Americans. We warned you guys. All you Trump supporters, what you're going to say now, all the food stamps and Medicaid are going to be removed for millions of people. Yeah. That's exactly what we voted for. If you are able to work, you need to get a job. It's time to stop munching off the government and having the government look after you like they're your daddy. So it's very simple. Get a job and keep your assistance. Don't get a job, you lose it. What do you guys think, please?
America is in pain right now. Across the country, millions of poor Americans are realizing that the food stamps they depend on have been cut down by Trump administration. And that decision is hitting hard. Because for many families, those food stamps are the only thing standing between them and hunger. Every day, new videos appear online, people crying, venting, saying they can't afford groceries anymore. What's surprising is that many of those voices belong to Trump supporters, people who once wore red hats and shouted, "Make America Great Again." Now they are online saying, "We can't even feed our kids." They believed the promises that Trump cared about working class, that he would fight for struggling Americans. But today, many of them are learning that when food assistance is taken away, slogans can't feed an empty stomach. Let's talk about what's really happened. The new policy expands work requirements for people on SNAP. That's the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, better known as food stamps. Adults between 18 and 55 years now have to prove that they are working, volunteering, or in job training for at least 80 hours a month to qualify. If they fail to meet that requirement, they lose their benefits. That might sound simple on paper, but in real life, it's a nightmare. Many of the people affected live in small towns where jobs are hard to find. Some work part-time, others take care of sick relatives or have health problems that make steady work impossible. And when the government tells them just to get a job, it ignores that not every community has jobs available, and not every worker can survive on low pay. Meanwhile, food prices are still climbing. Groceries cost more, rent is high, gas prices are up, and now one of the few supports people could count on is being pulled away. Let me give you some real stories. A woman in Ohio said online, "I voted for Trump because I thought he cared about people like me. But now my food benefits are gone and I can't buy enough food for my kids." Another man in Texas posted, "I am a construction worker. Work stops in winter, and when it does, I rely on food stamps. Now I don't qualify anymore. These are working people, not lazy, not entitled, just trying to survive in an economy that is leaving them behind. And while poor Americans are struggling, the government recently cancelled shipments of more than 94 million pounds of food that were supposed to go to the food banks. That means fewer boxes of food for hungry families, fewer meals for children, and more people turning to charities that are already overwhelmed. Some food banks say they use it to hand out 25-pound packages. Now they can only give half of that. On social media, I've seen people mocking those who were complaining, saying they deserve it or they should get off welfare. But most of people on the food stamps already have jobs. They are cleaning offices, stocking shelves, cooking in restaurants, doing the hard work that keeps America running. The problem isn't they are lazy. The problem is that the wages are too low, rent is too high, and life is too expensive. You can't feed a family of 4 on a minimum wage job when groceries cost double what they did a few years ago. So before anyone says, just get a job, remember, this system isn't broken by the poor, it's broken by those in power. Now, here's the part that really hurts. Many of the people suffering today are the same ones who believed Trump would save them. They thought he understood their struggles. They thought America first meant helping American families first. But these cuts show the opposite, that poor and working class are being left behind again. One person online said, I thought we were voting for someone who cared about us. Turns out we were voting against ourselves. That's a painful realization. It's a reminder that political loyalty means nothing when your fridge is empty. This isn't just about politics. It's about humanity. Cutting food assistance doesn't make people stronger. It makes them desperate. When parents skip meals so their children can eat, that's not strength. When seniors have to choose between food and medicine, that's not freedom. That's failure. Failure of leadership and of compassion. And while these cuts are being defended as saving taxpayers' money, let's be real. Food stamps cost less than 2% of the federal budget. Meanwhile, tax breaks for billionaires and massive military spending cost hundreds of billions more. So when poor families lose their food aid, it's not about saving money, it's about priorities. It's about who matters and who doesn't. There is something even more worrying happening quietly in the background. The Trump administration plans to stop publishing USDA annual hunger report, the one that tracks how many Americans are struggling to eat. Think about that. Instead of fixing the problem, they are trying to hide it, because if people don't see the data, it's easier to pretend everything is fine. But hunger doesn't disappear when people stop counting it, only glows in silence. So what should Americans do now? First, they have to care. This is not about Democrats or Republicans. It's about right and wrong. Nobody should go hungry in a country with so much wealth. Not a single child, not a single parent, not a single veteran. Second, we need awareness. Share the stories. Talk about what's happening. Because the more people know, the harder it is for politicians to ignore it. And third, we need accountability. Hold leaders responsible for the choices they make. Don't get distracted by slogans and promises. Look at what they actually do. Ask yourself, who are they really helping? At the end of the day, cutting food stamps doesn't make America great again. It makes more Americans desperate again. It pushes struggling families deeper into poverty. It takes away hope from people who already have so little. If a government can afford to fund wars, give tax breaks to billionaires, and bail out big corporations, then it can afford to help its own citizens eat. Food is not a luxury. It's a basic human right. And if Americans cannot protect that, then what does greatness even mean? So to everyone watching, whether you voted red or blue, this affects all Americans. Hunger doesn't care about politics. If Americans want a better America, they must start by making sure no one goes hungry. Thanks for watching, and remember, awareness is power. Share the video, keep the conversation going, and never forget, compassion is what truly makes a nation strong. Mr. TA signing off. Ciao.